October 2005. It's a real simple date. In the middle of it in the United States, we've got our first closed beta for Flyff, and although I took part in it and played following its official release line for 2005's Christmas, I, Morris, have played up until 2006 February, and I quit. I quit and I wanted to wait for the game to further development, and instead I focused all my attention on RuneScape 2 in its early form, a game that was already developed for English players in mind. In the summer of 2007, I attempted to relog into my account, and I was unable to access my account even after a few sent tickets for help. G-Potato was unable to help, and I was forced to make a new account. I came back to find so much new content had changed and updated. I maxed out about 5 characters on the US Clockwork server. Following 2008, I made a few more accounts and started vending it at every town in Flyff. Around 2009 is when I started taking part in official forums with Rabbitfish as the new game master and community manager, and he did a terrific job, hosting forum games during downtime and pushing for new events. In 2009, I barely had 3 trillion penya farmed. In 2010, I suggested for the creation of an item. That item became what is known as today as the Scroll of Unbinding, and although my suggestion thread was read and looked at by G-Potato and Gala, they deleted my thread and covered up my suggestion. While I don't know why, they basically took my idea with no thanks. I slowly began to browse the forums even less, and around the time on Clockworks, I had 5 trillion penya at the time. On June 8, 2011, the US Clockwork server was merged into what is known as today as Lycan. Slowly, third job classes are released, items increase in price across all servers, and at the time I had roughly over 7 trillion penya from farming and private shops in-game. In the summer of 2012, G-Potato announces Flyff goes gold. We lose the ability to vend anywhere, trades are limited to a marketplace, and obtaining penya became a bit more difficult at first. Flyff received its graphical update among other things, and I had over 9 trillion penya in late 2012. February 2013, Webzen buys G-Potato and Gala 100% and now owns Flyff. The old Flyff forums of G-Potato is slowly over time deleted and covered over. Webzen opens their forums on an old V-bulletin board with outdated captcha security plugins that didn't stop bots from making accounts. On Lincoln, I had about 10 trillion penya, taking full advantage over the new market system. March 2013, a month after the buyout, we now have Magituk, a user whom I fought tooth and nail against because of his disbeliefs. I rarely got along with him. In fact, during his 2 years as community manager, he has done nothing to assist in forwarding the game's development, rather just prolong the game without doing anything except silencing others in threads. For the first few months, however, I will admit he did an excellent job at his position. However, I started to see no GMs or moderators on the server. My cash stack on Lincoln in 2013 grew to just under 11 trillion penya by the year's end. In 2014, Flyff suffered one of the most biggest declines I've ever seen, with Mod Sherry, a RuneScape player moderator, constantly making social appearances on the server, hackers using macros, gold sellers still PayPaling equipment for real cash, penya spammers left unbanned and still going. Flyff stopped all development and rehashed saved events and models used in the last several years since launch. I was near inactive for most of 2014 and saw a decline in players. As such, I attempted a thread to merge the servers, only to have community manager Magituk lock and threaten to delete the thread, as he was tired of me being able to manage the community the way he could not. I cannot access one of my forum accounts inboxes as it's banned for a good reason, but in that inbox is a message from Magituk while he was still community manager threatening me. He didn't take kindly to me making more work for him at the office about a merge too. I'm certain I deleted the message, but I soft deleted that thread like he asked of me. This is where I began to hold a grudge against Magituk. Just him. My cash stack on Lincoln at the end of the year was over a recorded 13.6 trillion penya. In 2015, the 10th year of Flyff, the Clockwork massacre created by Magituk's influence led to many people logging in and getting killed in towns. A lot cried for a rollback, and others were claimed banned for luring the Clockworks back into towns. This wasn't the only act of corruption. I and another longtime player from a guild called Invictus. This other player, for the sake of Webzen's terms of service, I won't release, but to my knowledge he still plays. had purchased Mod Sherry's gear for a little over a reported $1,000 for Sherry to go to RuneFest that year. Siege became unplayable. This gear made other gears ineffective to counter and angered many players. Many other bad things, such as BDX777, a programmer, also suggested skin color customizations in-game, and was met with a racist and inappropriate response from community manager Magitook, and once again showed me that he is not capable of performing the tasks. Mod Sherry, a player moderator for RuneScape, had previously broken Flyff rules and was caught by another well-known player on the forums. She used the macro in-game previously on YouTube, and was later in the year caught with their gears leaked to other players, and people whom purchased the gear alongside her were promptly banned. All of 2015 sparked questions about how it's outright unfair to sell gears for real cash. It doesn't really matter if you have the time to spend to get the gear on your own, or rather speed up the process with real money or by buying web coins. If you cheat, you get banned. Community manager Magitook had leaked onto Facebook and the Reddit future patches and updates before them being added to the game, so people could prepare weeks or months in advance to obtain the most out of the event. On these subreddits, I came across an image showing a patchworks written in Korean on a marker board. It was evidence that he was bribed for cash for real information regarding the game's future updates. I later posted this Reddit link on the forums as a final act against him. I was later banned by Magitook while he was on the ACP, for short is actually Administrator Control Panel, on the V Bulletin. Basically, I was banned by the system for several falsified reasons, and was later given an apology letter via email, but I would remain banned. I held no problem with this response. Magitook was then secretly given by the Webzen's company a 2-week notice by the end of 2015, but for the sake of the company's business and well-being, was told to tell the community a lie that he was leaving. No actual tears could be shed for some 2-year rookie who caused nothing but trouble and social panic on Flyff. At the end of 2015, I had 15 trillion penya on plus 28 accounts holding penya on Lankan. That's 15 trillion penya equivalent to 500,000 web coins, or $4,000 to $5,000 US legitimately obtained over 8 years. And now, in 2016, we're now seeing some acts of the old Piccolo's behalf, along with 2 other Webzen employees. Piccolo makes a clear stance against gold sellers, threatening to ban them all. Only a third of the community has broken this rule. Some are well known, some are being quiet in fear of getting caught. Others known they have not done so. Others do not care about getting caught. Some wish that others that speak out about this would just outright shut up. Fact of the matter is, you're here listening, and this is my history of Flyff. I am known as Mars Memes in-game. I am the only known player who hasn't cheated to get to where I am today. I am the least liked player as well because of my stance against real-world trade. However, March 1st, 2016, I quit. But my plus 15 trillion penya legacy stays with me as the richest and most powerful player who's deleted hero character after hero character to farm and get skilled under many different names. With me completely gone and only a few of my friends playing, the economy of Lankan will in fact die this year. The recent gold pack drop event has already killed so much of the economy. It won't recover unless I drop money in the vendor to allow penya circulation, and I refuse to do so until the gold sellers are off Lankan server and all the other servers. So this is my last public message, and it's for you, Piccolo. As my good friend Super Cyram, aka Zelda Wolfang, has said about you, I hope you do convince Webzen to put a stop to the many players in the US Lankan servers, along with all the other servers that have had any gold selling since February of 2013. This might be a hard move for business, but if you continue to let the real world trading slide, that comes out of your paycheck. People want to buy W coins with their money. The 3 of you need to sit down at the next meeting and finalize a decision to save Flyff. Don't roll the servers back. Instead, at Webzen's meeting, tell them to shut the EU servers down for a week to fix the issues, so that the further issues do not arise, and create a backup of the fix. Then, sometime in mid-March, crack down on all the real-world traders and penya spammers, and you could save Webzen and you can save Flyff. That's all. Stay gold.